the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. I got a call from one of Diddy's people.
Okay, this is set up.
Yeah. And I didn't say who it was.
Right.
You know, and I just said he wanted to talk to me.
Okay.
And if this person wanted to talk to me,
right,
you know, so it had to be for Diddy because I never with him. I could have just kept my mouth closed.
Period.
I'd have to tell Miss Wallace nothing.
Dang.
I'd have to say nothing to nobody. That's what people don't understand. I chose to. You understand? They want to make up the stories they want to make up. And that's what you get this internet. You got a lot of people making up stuff. But then when the stuff come true, they look stupid. They don't say nothing.
The moment people heard the line about pizza boxes, theories exploded. In the call, the voice tells someone to get rid of all the leftover boxes and make sure the plastic gets recycled. At first, it sounded harmless. But then online detectives started looking closer. Some pointed out that Diddy's well-known property near Miami sits close to shipping areas and container docks. Others started revisiting older rumors about the location of certain properties and how close they are to major transport routes. None of that proves anything by itself, of course. But that's where the speculation really started to grow. And it didn't stop there.
Is that in certain circles, ordering pizza doesn't mean food. It's a way to describe arranging under-the-table deliveries of not-of-age workers, as if they're men.
Then things took a darker turn when certain internet discussions began suggesting that in some underground circles, phrases like ordering pizza have allegedly been used as coded language. It's important to say clearly that these claims remain unproven and widely disputed. But the rumor alone was enough to send social media into a frenzy. Suddenly people weren't just talking about pizza boxes anymore. They were trying to decode every word in that call. And that's where the next line grabbed attention. The part about recycling the plastic.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that black that Rat Pack, and I don't want to even say their names, but they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner? What's the other guy? Leonardo? Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats, but I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So there's quite a few tapes.
According to Gene Deal, who has spoken publicly about his past experiences working around Diddy, the word plastic could allegedly refer to digital storage devices like memory cards, flash drives, or hard drives. Again, that's only his interpretation, and nothing has been confirmed in court. But the idea quickly fueled another wave of speculation. If the message really was coded, some people believe it might have been instructions to remove certain items. Others argue it's all internet imagination, blowing a normal conversation out of proportion. And that's where things get even more complicated, because suddenly other famous names started getting dragged into the discussion.
What? If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had a tape with another man, did that catch you by surprise or no?
Well, all this is by surprise to me. A lot of this is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff, I knew Puff Daddy, I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother Love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler, he's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising, but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of this stuff is crazy. But this is the world that we live in now, man. That these individuals.
At one point in the conversation, the topic shifts toward powerful figures in the industry, including Jay-Z. Gene Deal described a time years ago when tensions reportedly existed between the two music moguls. According to his recollection, their relationship evolved over time, with both appearing together at events and gatherings. Some observers have long speculated about the influence certain elite circles hold in entertainment. But again, these are interpretations and personal opinions rather than proven facts. Still, the suggestion that powerful figures could be connected in unseen ways kept viewers glued to the story. And just when people thought the speculation had reached its peak, another name appeared.
It's kind of funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough where he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Ashler, Kushner, Diddy, and myself went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan, like some of his music, the whole 9 yards. But when we went over to the, I think that was Prudential Center in Newark, and him and Puff met up, it was strange to me. Because I remember what Puff was trying to do. And then both of them, they was talking about something amongst each other, amongst all of us, and laughing and joking with each other. Then over the years, I see them giving garden parties. You understand what I'm saying? You could tell that the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact they may be two of the same, but because Jay-Z is low-key, that low-key sneaky, and Diddy is, and was rambunctious, just out with it, it don't mean that they're not two of the same. One just a little quiet with it. So now, I said this title, Jay-Z and Diddy, are they two and the same? Diddy was number one. Jay was number 2. Diddy was supposed to be the one that keep us in the dark. Puff was supposed to be that one who kept us in the dark. Then he have the musical talent of Jay-Z to back him up. That's why you seen them doing those events together. Having Robert Kraft sitting on the couch hugged up with him. Jay taking on a new identity with his hair, dressing like his stylist. They got the same colors, the same thing on. What men you know do that? What grown-ass men you know dress like that? What they dress, have the same colors and the same they have on with they stylist, they man, whoever the new.
During the discussion, Gene Deal briefly mentioned the possibility that a younger A-list celebrity might be referenced in rumored recordings. Online speculation quickly pointed toward Justin Bieber, although no credible evidence has confirmed that claim. Even Gene Deal himself described it as uncertainty rather than fact. But once the internet grabbed hold of that idea, it spread fast. Social media threads, podcasts, and comment sections all started asking the same question. If recordings really exist, who else might be involved? And that's where the conversation shifted toward an even bigger mystery.
Is selling his own God evidence that would put him in jail against him on the dark net to the highest bidder. Why would he sell evidence of his debauchery and savagery? Why would he sell on the dark net his tapes of just terrible? Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial.
Is he protecting people, or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
How come you think it doesn't get leaked to the public?
The dark net?
Yeah, like...
Because of the dark coin. Most people don't even know that the dark coin exists. But that's how they're trading for all of the flesh they sell. Which is why I became so outraged last year when the twins turned 16 and he had them dressed like prostitutes, and then he auctioned them off as NFTs because the NFT that he sold them to was attached to that dark coin. It was like a promissory note to sell his daughters to the highest bidder.
I actually received the New York Post article from the person who contacted me to sell the tape. They sent me that article. I was not shocked by what I read in the article. I was hoping that even the client that I contacted would reach out and see and kind of alert that person that this was going on and to possibly help them. The person who has the tape really doesn't want to shop it around. They really want to help and wanted to directly sell it to that person, but it seems as if they are going elsewhere.
You know, we know that you've seen the footage. You talked about that last week when you were with us. So, you know, as you know who it is, and I know that you can't tell us who it is, for all the reasons, right? But as you know who it is, and as we're moving through this story, and it's starting to really feel like it's unraveling, and you feel bad for the person, and we don't even know who it is there anything more you can tell us about that part of it?
I really do feel bad about the person. Part of the reason that I did come and say something outside of just to protect my own safety, but I wanted to sound the alarm, essentially bring the dog whistle, if you will, to that person that maybe they should do something about this before it came out. Mm-hmm. If I was them, I would do something about this. And the only way to do anything is to do the catch and kill. That's the only way to ensure that it doesn't come out. You know, we're taught that God helps those who helps themselves. So if we have a situation where that person does have the opportunity to purchase the video, if I were them, I would absolutely purchase the video.
Wow. Well, do you think this is going to surface publicly? I mean, are we getting close to that moment?
From what I'm hearing, I think so. I'm hearing whispers that there is at least one major network, possibly two, in a bidding war for that footage. So I believe we're sooner rather than later maybe finding out, unless that person comes and purchases the video themselves, which is really the goal of the people who have the video. They just, at this point, if that person doesn't want to purchase it, then...
Some reports circulating online claim that certain tapes connected to celebrity parties might exist somewhere in private hands. A few commentators have even suggested that individuals with access to those recordings may be trying to sell or control them. These claims remain completely unverified, and no official investigation has confirmed such details. But the possibility alone has kept the story alive. Gene Deal has said the reason he speaks publicly is because he believes silence protects the wrong people. At the same time, others question his claims and argue that much of the story is still speculation. And that tension between accusations and doubt is exactly why the situation keeps getting more complicated.
Call from Kirk Burrows. And Kirk Burrows, and I ain't going to give this guy no play. Not Kirk Burrows, but one of the tough dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he want to reach out to you, Gene. He want to speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burrows did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough? Yo, because, bro, listen, I didn't ask to be put in this situation. You understand? And a lot of people ain't going to understand this, because a lot of people wouldn't give up what I've given up to be in this situation. You understand? My whole thing about it is, when you lean on right, you ain't gonna never turn to wrong. And my whole thing about it is that Puff wasn't right what he did to people around us, man. He wasn't right what he did to people around us. Him being hard-headed, not listening, and not telling the truth and constantly lying cost a lot of people their lives, man.
More recently, another debate emerged after a lawyer reportedly claimed there could be over 100 alleged victims connected to accusations involving Diddy. Gene Deal responded skeptically during an interview, saying he would need to see actual court documentation before believing numbers at large. His reaction sparked another round of arguments online. Some viewers think the allegations should be taken seriously until proven otherwise, while others believe the situation is being exaggerated. The truth is, until verified evidence appears in court, many of these claims remain disputed and unresolved. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the public watching.
Tony Busby, he's saying that he got over 120 victims.
I believe it when I see it in the court documents. I believe it when I see it, on court television. I believe it, I believe it, bruh, because I don't believe it. I don't believe not 120 people, bruh. They just opening the floodgates. This shit is crazy, bruh. 120 people. I don't believe it, man. So first and foremost, they would have to do a lot of interviews and interrogations on these people. Talk with them when, where, why, how. Do you ever think he ever going to have a hearing? Is he ever going to go to court? You know how long it would take to interview 120 people on a essay case? That's a lot of interviewing, bro. That's not happening. There's no way in this earth that that they say 120 people was victimized by this dude. It's no way. I don't believe it. They probably don't believe it. I think they just opened the floodgates or something like that. How did they get 120 people to come forward this quick?
He didn't really go into detail like that. He just said that it was 120 people, including minors. But he did say one of the minors gave Diddy fellatio.
Oh my God. Oh man, listen here. And he trying to get bail. He trying to come home. Nah, If any of that is halfway true, bruh, I don't know what the hell to think. All I know is that there's no way in hell that they got 120 some people ready to come to court and sue them. Listen, what they're going to do? A class action lawsuit? They're going to put them all together in one bundle and sue him, his companies, everything? Because they can't sue them individually. Because if you sue them, I don't think there's enough money to sue 120 people to sue him individually. So it's crazy that I just don't believe, bro. And that's hard to fathom. 120 people that came forward outside the 50 people that was last week, or that's with.
Nah, this is one lawyer with 120 people.
So that's 170 people all together, bro. It's no way. It can't be that much assault in the world. It's no way. What was that? Who was one of the mass of all time? He outdid Jack the Ripper. He outdid Jack the Ripper, man. The Boston Strangler. He just don't have no bodies that we know about. That's crazy, man. I don't believe that, Mighty. I really don't. I don't think that you can legitimately get 120 people to say that Sean John Combs molested them. I don't believe that.
So you don't believe it, you personally? Because I mean, Diddy, he has been throwing parties since the 90s.
But you talking about somebody saying that he assaulted them. What do they consider the assault? They had to go there and see and speak with the people and interview them and see if, they may consider some of that being consensual. They may think some of the people don't have a case. What if somebody say he touched my butt? He pat me on my butt. That could have been an accident. He brushed up against me. We don't know what these people are saying. On this one, bruh, I'm giving Puff